Rusame reader, Kurosong, and today I will be reading to you from Beneath the Surface by Unnamed Untold. And here's the warnings: depression, suicidal thoughts, suicide attempt, anorexia, bulimia, and vulgar language. Now, on to Chapter 3, Day 4. I was sitting at my desk, trying to get some of the endless amount of paperwork done when I heard a knock at my door. I stood up and walked over to it. I opened it to ask Rusame what it was he needed. For the past few days, we mostly kept out of each other's way and barely had any interaction with each other, besides a hello or question. It was fine by me, but it made me question why he was at my door now. "Hey there, Ruski. Need something?" I asked him politely. "Part of punishment is for us to go out and do something together every other day. We have not done that once, and I would prefer to stay out of trouble. I propose that we go to the movie theater so that we can ignore each other during the time that we are forced to spend together," he said gruffly. I rolled my eyes, but agreed. "There is a film being played at 6 tonight. I do not know what it is about or how long it is." "Okay, sounds kind of fun. I'll see you when it's time to go, okay?" I suggest. He gave a nod and left. I checked the clock to see that it was 3:45. I had 15 minutes to go get ready because of how long it takes to get to town. I brushed my hair and grabbed my wallet, keys, and phone, and a blanket in case the theater was cold. I met Russia by the front door as I was putting my shoes on. I noticed that he'd traded his normal big winter coat for a dark blue sweater and dark blue jeans. His ever-present scarf was obviously still there. I was dressed in a Captain America t-shirt with light blue jeans. I had on my bomber jacket as well. We started out the door when I stopped. "Oh, have you seen the cats today? I haven't seen either of them all day," I asked, worried. "No, both of them are curled up on my bed. They have been in there most of the afternoon," he said as he closed the door and locked it. "Good, I was getting worried about them," I said, getting in the driver's side of the car. "You were worried about my cap?" he asked teasingly. I pulled out of the driveway, being careful not to hit any of the bunnies scurrying around. "Well, duh! Even if he's owned by a commie bastard, he's still a pretty cool cat. Real sweet. Hero likes them, so that counts for something. And besides, whether you're my rival or not, I'll still take care of your pet," I told him honestly. I swore I saw a genuine small smile on his face out of the corner of my eye, but I was too focused on not hitting a little rabbit that was by the narrow driveway. Cute little thing couldn't make up its mind about where it wanted to go. We fell silent after that, neither of us really having anything to say to the other. I turned on the radio, so we had an excuse to not force small talk. The drive was nice enough. You could really tell that fall was here, and almost all of the leaves were bright fall colors, or a dead brown. Huge piles of leaves stacked up against the trees where the wind blew them to. When we reached the theater, I parked near the front. I liked the way this one looked. It was a classic style, but it still looked as new as the day it was built. I looked up at the sign to see which movie was playing. "Now playing Into the Universe." Russia walked up to the ticket booth and paid for the tickets. I stood there and talked to the chipper boy for a minute until Russia pulled me away. When we walked in, I immediately walked up to the counter. I figured since he bought the tickets, I should pay for the snacks. The prices were lower than most theaters, but still unnecessarily high. I mean, seriously? $2.50 for a small box of M&Ms? I got us a large popcorn and 2 medium sodas. It was part of a couple's deal, so it was cheaper, even if a little embarrassing to ask for. We walked into the screen room, and I was pleased to see that there weren't too many people. This gave us our choice of seating. We chose the back so we could bicker quietly without disturbing the others. Russia sat on my left. I placed the popcorn on the armrest between us so we both could reach it. Finally, I wrapped the blanket around myself because the theater was cold like I thought it would be. We settled into our seats just as the movie started playing. To our surprise, it wasn't about aliens or traveling to other worlds. It was a philosophical type of movie. It was then I realized why there were so few people in here. This one was about what was truly out in the stars. Could we really be all alone in the universe? What would it mean if we truly are? Are we truly a creation of God? Or are we a freak accident that was created by some miracle? Is there more out there than we know? Is there a big plan? Do aliens exist? And if they do, what have they been doing all this time up there? Is there something bigger going on up there? A grand plan designed by either aliens or God? Are there things out there bigger than us? Is Earth even a speck of dust in the grand scheme of things? A blimp on the universe's radar? Will anything we humans do ever matter 10,000 years from now? Will anything one of us do matter in 1,000,000 years from now, or does anything matter now? Will it matter when the last star burns out and the universe reaches the end of its life cycle? By the end of the movie, I was deep in thought. Everything in the movie made me think. Most of what was said I agreed with wholeheartedly, though my reasoning was sometimes different. The movie provoked somewhat of a friendly, long discussion out of Russia and I, though. I, for one, like looking up the stars and feeling small and insignificant compared to them. I said to Russia as we drove home. We were almost there, just another 10 minutes or so of driving. You, the great country of the United States of America, like feeling insignificant to the stars. He scoffed with complete disbelief. Yeah, I find it very reassuring and calming, I told him. Oh, really? How? He asked. Because it means that there's something much bigger than me out there. Something much more grand in the universe. It means that I don't matter. Nothing I do matters. Every mistake, every triumph, every time I screw up, it doesn't matter. No one will care, so I can let it go. Nothing I do truly matters in the grand scheme of things. I can make 1,000,000 errors and it won't matter, I told him. Most people find that to be terrifying. That whatever they do might not withstand the test of time, he said softly. I find it calming to know that nothing I do matters. That I don't matter, not really, I said softly as we pulled up to my house. I turned to Russia to see that he was giving me a look I couldn't quite place, like he was trying to figure out something when he already knew the answer. Well, I guess I'll see you inside. That movie put me in the mood for some stargazing. He nodded and headed into the house. I took the blanket and spread it over the soft grass. I laid down and looked at the softly glowing silver stars. Being this far out from any major cities had its perks. Being able to see the entire sky of stars was one of them. I looked for one constellation in particular. It isn't one you would find in a book, since it's one that was made up a long time ago by someone special to me. It was a bear playing with a rabbit. I was out there for a long time when I saw Russia come into my view. In his hands were 2 mugs. I looked up at him curiously as he sat down next to me. I sat up to be somewhat level with him. Even sitting, he still had a few inches on me. He handed me 1 mug that I saw was hot chocolate. I smiled softly at the drink and took a sip. It was pretty good, actually. It is too cold for you to be out here for much longer. You might catch a cold, he said a bit gruffly. Aw, does someone care about me? I teased him. I just don't want to have to listen to you cough all night or have to take care of you. He turned to face the other direction. I playfully bumped his shoulder in response. I turned back to the stars. The stars shone beautifully tonight. Each one was glowing with a soft silver or pure white. There's one thing that I've always loved about the stars, I started. And what is that? Rusha asked. Even though each one shines a little bit, when you put all of them together, they are able to light up the night sky. Each one is able to contribute a little bit, but it is enough to paint a beautiful picture, much like humans, I told him softly. I never knew you could think so deeply, he said after a minute of silence. He sounded surprised. You never took the time to find out, I responded before turning back to the stars. We sat there in silence for a long time. It was getting close to midnight when we both decided it was getting too cold to stay out any longer. We walked inside and went our separate ways, with a wish of a good night. I walked into the living room to grab Hero. I found her curled up with Lampushka on the love seat. I wanted to take her, but I also didn't want to disturb her. She looked so happy curled up next to him. I sighed and left her alone. I didn't need her to sleep with me every night. I walked upstairs and went into my room. I threw on a pair of random pajamas and prepared for bed. I climbed in and snuggled down. It took a minute, but I finally realized that I wasn't crying myself to sleep like every night. In fact, I felt kind of happy and content. I guess it had to do with spending some time with someone and not getting insulted or laughed at. Actual, real human interaction. Maybe if we can keep up the decency, it won't be too bad here. With that thought, I fell asleep. And that's the end of this chapter. And I realized while reading this chapter that I got part of my philosophy from a fucking Rusame book when I was like 13. Laugh at it beyond your want in the comments section, I suppose. Make fun of me. Or whatever you guys do. I don't know if y'all are gonna make fun of me for having my philosophy come from a fanfiction. Maybe y'all won't, but I know that, when I tell that realization to my family, they're gonna fucking laugh at me. That'll be fun. And that's all I have to say. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time.